Guys, welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm May.
And I'm Laura. And today we are going to be talking about a couple things that have happened, even a couple from this week already.
Nice.
This week is already popping off. I'm going to be covering the White House group text gone wrong when war plans were sent directly to a journalist.
Great.
Really can't get much worse in terms of security right there.
Could you imagine these Sunday scaries after sending war plans to a journalist?
That guy must have been blacked out, right?
At the Atlantic, no less, which is a heavily leftist site, I believe.
I think like that is a modern day miracle. Like God came down and was like, we're gonna redirect these texts.
I'm very curious to see how they spin it to be like, no, this was intentional.
We'll talk a little bit about like what they tried to do. And actually there was just an update that came out a couple hours ago.
Fantastic.
On it. So look at this. Late breaking news.
Breaking news.
Wow. So I'm going to be talking about that and then some less breaking news. Everyone who is in their 20s and a brand is going out of business. Forever 21 is going out of business, and 23andMe, which that one's more concerning because they have the genetic data of everybody.
They surely do. Okay, I'm going to talk about a former Baltimore Ravens coach who was caught hacking accounts of athletes. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We love a perv. I mean, it's been a while since there's been a perv in sports, I think.
Oh, in sports at least.
In sports. It's,
yeah, I was like,
we've had some pervs.
Hold
on. Trump, he hates his photo. He fucking hates his photo.
It's actually the most relatable thing about him.
Yeah, it's iconic. He is getting a portrait of himself removed, and he's like, "This is the word. I hate this. The beauty filter isn't on."
Millennial woman coded. Right.
And I'm gonna round it out with a film director who was arrested for embezzling 17 mil from a Netflix project he was on, and he spent it in some iconic ways. So you know what? Good for him. Beverly Hills, baby. She.
Good for them. We love it. All right, enjoy.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold on.
From that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm going to ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.
We have a special guest on the pod that you can't. I think it's out of frame, but the baby is here.
Yeah, he's out of frame. Don't you worry.
Through a series of miscommunications, the baby is here today, but don't worry. And we're drinking wine, and he's also strapped. He's got Bud Lights. That's what we call these. And
I think that's a Bud Heavy, actually.
It's a Bud Heavy.
The calories in that thing.
That's true. I
would not be drinking one of those. I'll tell you that.
No. Can you imagine how big we would get if we just started drinking Similac?
Breast milk.
Well, that's formula.
Okay.
Also, my breastfeeding journey is coming to a close.
Wow. You had a good run.
I did have a good run. A good solid 2 months.
That's great.
And then now
I don't know. I'm making that up. I'm like, that's so good.
They tell you to go a year, but thank you.
You're crushing it.
So I am pumping my breasts for like once or twice a day, and it is truly. I'm going to run that thing over with my fucking car. I swear to God, I'm going to beat it up with a baseball bat.
You should take it to the Atlantic fights, the Atlantic Terminal fights.
I should. Oh my God, have we talked about that?
I don't know if I don't think we have talked about that on the pod. On Fridays, there's this new thing in New York City where all the teens go to Barclays.
The Barclays, which is right next to my home.
And they
literally
fight.
Right next. And they fight on my stoop. And it's actually insane. Although last Friday there was so many police, and I think that they kind of put the kibosh on it because someone got stabbed and died. Yeah, so that's what.
Oh, no way.
Yes, and it was a 27-year-old. So I think it was someone just walking through there. It wasn't someone involved in the fight. So we're gonna go ahead and shut it down.
Oh, they had a nice 3 weeks. There was 3 weeks or so where that was like real. Because I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yes.
May brings up. She's like, I've lived in this neighborhood for a while. She's like, "Do you know about these youths fighting?" And I was like, "Oh no, I've never."
From 4 to 7, it's like fucking
never seen them.
UFC in the streets.
It's like I feel like I would have noticed.
So
hundreds of teenagers.
Oh, you notice. So I looked up on TikTok because they were all filming these fights. It's like it's crazy what was going on there. So they're filming these fights, and then I looked up like Atlantic Barclays fights, and all these videos of the kids filming each other were coming up, and I was like, "This is."
Yeah, that's really
evidence.
something.
This is what we call evidence.
Well, I started seeing it pop up on Reddit And I know those teens aren't on Reddit. So I was like, oh, this
Right.
shit's about to shut down really fast.
Oh yeah, they shut that shit down.
They were like, that is enough out of you guys.
Not to be a bummer, not to be a buzzkill, but yeah, I'm pretty happy it got shut down because holy fuck.
Yeah.
It was
you
like
can't be fighting like
beyond.
that.
They would literally they would steal the shopping carts from Target and then just whiz down my street, like bumping into cars
That's
and shit.
insane.
It
Like
was
Mario
crazy.
Kart.
No, it was
But
really,
in literally
it
the
was really
streets of New
wild.
York. That's the most dangerous intersection in the city.
What is?
The Fulton Atlantic
Oh really?
Ave or whatever. Yeah.
Why is that? Because of the way that
Because-
it's like.
Because it's insane. Because
Yeah.
people fight there. Because
Right.
Barclays is right there. But
True.
yeah, I think a lot of people die there. So be careful.
Oh no.
I never go over there though.
Yeah.
I like never. I always head north.
Yeah,
northbound.
that's true. That's true. Although on the other side of Barclays, there's some good stuff. We could not be dropping more hints about where we live. But
yeah.
that's okay.
Come on over.
Come on over. Come
Come
into my
fight.
home.
Come fight.
Come
we'll see you on
fight on my
Friday. See you Friday.
Hell yeah.
Why did we even bring that up?
I don't know. What
It
else do we
doesn't-
have to say? Did I have something else to say? Oh, I want to talk about White Lotus real quick before we got into our
Yeah. Oh
topics.
my God. Wait, hold on. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this week's episode,
Watch it.
watch it. Why are you listening to this podcast?
Right.
instead? Like, I mean,
Prioritize
this is
yourself.
good, but like, what are we talking about?
Yep.
But maybe skip ahead like 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. We'll give ourselves 5.
Sure. Wow. I watched the latest episode, which is the episode where the
Where it finally
inciting
happens.
incident- Yeah, that finally happens. The sexual tension is brought to a
How?
head. Oh my God, disgusting.
Okay. Did you on episode 1? I feel like only the real creeps, like someone like me, watched episode 1, and I was like, they're gonna fuck. Those
No, I think that I did because he was watching him masturbate in the bathroom. Remember, he
Yeah,
wanted
but
to see
like,
that.
I don't know. I assumed immediately I was like, they're going to have a sexual encounter versus like, oh, this brother saw his brother and maybe there was like history of abuse or something crazy and it's going to be all sad. Instead, it was like massive party scene. It's going to happen live on the show.
Ooh.
On the show.
Ooh. No, it was so horrifying.
Oh.
I actually watched it with my mother, which was something to say. She was like,
That-
they have to kill themselves, right? They're going to kill themselves. That's next week. You
Well,
can't come back from it, man. You can't.
You
I was
really-
like, yeah, no shit,
You
Mom.
really can't. And they don't have that gun anymore, though, which is unfortunate. It'll make it a lot
Yeah,
harder.
I
They also
know.
don't have any more of those prescription medications.
That also.
Geez, they're really getting rid of all the ways to kill themselves.
Well,
as
what
they
about those
should.
fruit? That fruit that's
Oh, the fruit.
poisonous. The fruit could be
He's
something.
So do you think he's gonna make a smoothie to kill himself?
I've seen this floating around on the internet, so maybe. But
that poison fruit.
what was I gonna say? So I stayed for like the after show where the actors talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? There's like a little like
Oh, I
after
didn't know about
program.
this.
Oh yeah, and the after.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that
okay.
after this podcast.
The actors are on there, so it's the 3 siblings that are the ones that are being interviewed after this, and after the show. And literally, they were just like, yeah, and it's like an interesting episode because the power dynamics shift. And I was like, what? No, what? I'm like, you should be like, that was insane. This fucking scene was super gross to portray.
Yeah, this
And
was tough.
Wow,
this was a tough one.
When we saw this in the script, we were like, "Damn, he's really going for it." I was like, "Yes, I understand." Also, the power dynamics, but like,
That's like
come
a
on,
tertiary concern.
right? Like, we need
There's
to.
A few other things going on there.
And they were all just like, "Yeah, it was really interesting to play because like we had like this thing going on where you were the more challenging one." And I was like, "No, dude, you jerked him off in that scene, and that is what? Why are we not? Like, why
That
are
is
we-
wild. Also, wouldn't you kind of like? Wouldn't that he was the one getting jerked off, so kind of still the alpha? I don't know.
That's like an interesting
Something
take.
to think about.
That's an
You
interesting.
know, he's like, I
take.
didn't touch anyone else's ween. He kind of got. Well, no, they did get abused. I mean, he was definitely willing and able.
I mean, literally, this is how well done that show is, though. I was like close to vomiting.
It was awful.
It was disgusting.
It was-
and
It was shocking, like genuinely
shocking.
And in this day and age, holy folks, like what?
Right.
How did you manage to shock
America.
millennials?
Right.
We've seen the internet before the filters.
We have seen literally like murders on the internet.
Oh yeah,
We have seen.
without wanting to. They're
Right.
just like on YouTube.
I'm not searching for them, and all of a sudden I'm seeing an ISIS beheading. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah. Oh, we all saw the ISIS beheadings.
Everyone saw
Remember
the
when
ISIS-
there was a while where they were like big about them, and they'd be like, "How about this?
Yes.
What do you think about this?"
It was like the new Bollywood. They were like, this is this is our country's Bollywood where all we do is just film beheadings. and
People
put up-
dying.
And the views through the roof, by the way.
They were big.
Through the roof.
They were big. I was subscribed.
Absolutely. There was that, 2 Girls, 1 Cup, and that was like basically all of my internet.
It was like the substitute teacher would come in with the projector and like put 2 Girls, 1 Cup on for us to watch as a crew. Like that's the level of internet we were receiving.
You know what I've never gotten to the bottom of? I think I've asked this question to friends, no one knows, and then I can't research it because I don't think their names were on it. Whatever happened to the girls from 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
They poison fruit smoothie themselves.
Did they?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I was like, oh no.
But you kind of have to at that point, right?
I guess, or like change your name. I think they were like really young. I remember them being really young.
Yeah. Because they
Right?
seemed not old to me, and I was
young.
way too young to be watching
how
that.
old were we? Genuinely like 11, 12?
I would say it's like
that?
right about 11, 12.
Yeah. Wow.
Good old days.
Good old days where that would shock us. Now we'd be watching this and be like, next on TikTok.
What, another person participating in this trend?
Yeah. That would be crazy if there was a trend on. I bet there is a trend on OnlyFans. I've never been on OnlyFans because I famously am a huge prude and I don't watch porn. But
especially OnlyFans, I'm like, if you're gonna watch porn, you watch it like old fashioned. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to know the person.
No, but
like,
some people do.
Ugh.
Some people do. But you would think that on OnlyFans there'd be some sort of trend, like 2 girls, 1 cupping. I guess. I don't know. Are people into that? Men are creeps. Speaking of, actually, this is a perfect segue into my first story. So,
hell yeah.
I'm going to talk about the former NFL and college assistant coach who pled guilty for hacking women's images. So Matt Weiss is the name of this guy. He used to work for the Baltimore Ravens and also the University of Michigan as an assistant coach. And he,
oh no,
yes. So he basically he's accused of 14 counts of unauthorized computer access and identity theft from 2015 until 2023. And he gained access to databases of more than 100 colleges and universities and that were maintained by a third-party vendor, Keffer Development Services. Are you familiar? Because it's in your industry.
No.
Anyway, they downloaded personal information and medical data of more than 150,000 athletes. Could have been you.
Oh my God.
But I guess not, because you're not in college in 2015, right?
No,
but
I
maybe
wasn't.
your data was.
Could have? It'd be easily still could be.
Easily still could be.
So hold on. What kind of data was this?
It was
like the stuff
their
that you
intimate images, their social media, cloud storage, all this stuff. And so he did it.
Why was there social media? Oh, because of like the NIL stuff?
He like hacked into their social media somehow. I think because he got access to their email and then got access to their social media.
Jesus, this guy is in the wrong. He's a football coach?
I know. All
right. Kind of props.
Yeah. Well, now that he can't.
That sounds hard.
Now that he can't coach football and is maybe going to prison, he should just come out and be like, I will work for any cybersecurity company and I will also, I'll be hacking. I'll move to Russia and become a hacker. I'm going to be the wealthiest person ever. And I'm going to get tons of hookers because it's
I'll hack
Russia,
their stuff
I
and
guess.
Force them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
What a weird side hobby for a football coach. That man clearly doesn't have CTE. He was able to pull this off.
He was doing real well. So he would research these women, primarily women, as you can imagine. He would research and target these women based on their school affiliation, athletic history, and physical characteristics.
Oof.
And his goal was to obtain private photos and videos that were supposed to be just for their intimate partners and not shared beyond the public. So something crazy that investigators found is that he kept notes on the photos and videos that he downloaded, and he commented on the bodies and sexual preferences. And sometimes he would come back, so like they would find out someone hacked them, change all their passwords,
an Excel sheet, like stack ranking.
And he came back years later and looked for new images. So he was like relentless with some of these
This is a weird
women.
guy.
Isn't that crazy?
He needs more to do. That man needs a mortgage.
I know. I've never been, you know what, I sound like I'm so bad at sex. I'm very bad at some things, but sexual, I will admit it. But I'm like, when it comes to like sexy photos, I cannot take myself seriously. I really cannot.
It's the most insane thing in the world.
It's
I don't
so
like doing
embarrassing.
that. It's like,
I
because
hate
of shit like this. I feel like out the gate, they really were like, if you take the picture and it's on your phone, there's a
chance someone will see it that you don't.
It's called a 15% chance, which is pretty high.
Honestly,
that it might get loose.
Back then, higher, because there wasn't so much awareness about revenge porn. So I feel like
you were just shooting them off.
Yeah, like boys would receive something and be like, "Oh, look at this."
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that wasn't known to be like a crime,
right?
A crime, which it now is. Also, distribution of, at that age we were under 18.
Exactly.
What's that? Weren't we talking about this? Like they changed a bunch of the laws in Germany because parents used to be able to be charged for if their kids were like distributing that. It was like found on their network.
Oh my God. You know what?
That's tough.
That's tough. Because it's like, well, how are they supposed to fucking know that?
And it's like, oh, my kid. But then like, if you were a pedophile, what a fabulous excuse to be like, the baby. Sorry, the baby was. It's awful.
Well, could you imagine? Like, I remember being a teenager and going to my friends' pools or whatever, and I always had I had huge tits, and so I'm like at this pool with their dad. I have like massive boobs, and imagine like I send my friend or whatever, some kid in my class, my boobs, and then like their dad sees it. Like,
yeah. It's not good.
I don't know. I feel like I was always. I don't want to say too smart for that, but like I always had a healthy level of
of suspicion. No, I was similar. I still am.
Yeah.
On a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And
also, I'm lazy as fuck. It's been a long time. Like, me and Mark have been together for too long for him to be asking for nudes, honestly. But like when we
come home,
I'll see you at 11.
See you live.
He's like, yeah, you'll be drooling with your retainer in. But
yeah, that's what you wanted. Yeah.
When we first started dating, I was like, oh my God, this is such a nuisance. I hate this. I hate.
I never did. I never sent any.
No.
Never. No. Poor Matthew. He's still like, oh, it'd be nice. I'm like, good for you.
I sent some extremely misleading ones. I looked much, much skinnier.
I told him when we get married, I would send him some.
Okay.
2.5 months, folks.
Did I ever tell you about? I had a boyfriend in college who would ask for them all the time, and it fucking pissed me off so much.
It's work.
It's work. I'm like, now I gotta get the lighting. I gotta put makeup on.
Gotta go do a full photo shoot.
Oh my God. So I got out.
I'm out.
I got out of the shower and I put my hair like the Ring girl, and I took a photo like this, just like flat and like squared off to the camera. And I was like, that's it. That's what you're getting.
Is that doing something for you?
I'm not
Samara from the Ring.
Yeah. I am not doing
extremely funny
photo pose.
That's a great bit.
Maybe I should tell that on stage.
Yeah, you actually should. That's very funny.
Because I can't do it. I was like, this is it. Is this going to put an end to it? And let me tell you something. No. I guess the Ring is just now something that will always
now
make
weirdly turns him on. Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
Do you have more? Or that might be the perfect segue to my next one.
No, I mean, that's basically it. He's said he's not guilty. I think that, he probably will be proven guilty. He faces 90 years in prison. Obviously, he's not going to get that. He'll probably get like 5.
Yeah. He'll be coaching the prison football team.
But yeah.
They'll be really good.
They will be really good. But my thing back to what we were first talking about is OnlyFans is a great place for men. Like, there's like certain types of men that they don't care about porn stars. They want to see girls that they know.
It's weird.
You know what I mean?
It's weird.
So anyway, if he just waited and went on OnlyFans, I bet a lot of those athletes are on there.
I'm sure they are. They're like, would you mind actually dropping our handle when you're in court?
Right.
Would you be able to shout out my Instagram while you're getting sentenced?
That would help me out quite a bit.
That would help drive traffic to the OnlyFans.
I'm going to drop the whole lawsuit in that case.
Yeah, that is incredibly disturbing, though.
Super creepy.
Another one that's wildly disturbing. The White House. We have a lot of, let's call it, tough guys to get along with up there. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, has been, doing defense things, planning wars, planning bombings. And he, on March 15th, was about to bomb the Houthi targets across Yemen. Didn't even know we were bombing over there, but am I surprised that the U.S. is doing that shit? No, I'm not.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that like a month ago, or that we were
planning to
we were bombing the shit out of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
awful is that it doesn't even get into my consciousness anymore, which is so sad.
We understand how that sounds, but honestly, it's the truth.
So sad.
When there's so much coming
I'm not bullshitting with you guys. I don't want to be over here like, no, I keep strict tabs on I can't.
No.
I'd be in tears a hundo p of the time.
I don't have the bandwidth, and frankly, it's like
there's not enough Xanax in the world, okay?
Yeah. What's interesting. Sorry to cut you off in the story, please. But I was on the train and there was this older woman. She was probably like 60 or something like that. And she had some sign that she was going to like a protest, and it had like a bald eagle on it. And it was like, don't let billionaires bully us. And she had some like fucking dork ass outfit on with like a bunch of pins all over her shirt. And she was like so pleased with herself. And I was just like, girl, what do you think you're accomplishing? Like, you look like such a loser right now.
The pins are tough. It is tough because on the other hand, we can't just like let them do whatever they want. So it is important in the ecosystem those people exist.
Sure.
But I don't resonate with them.
No, I can't. I don't resonate with you.
What I will do is talk shit with you.
Yeah.
And in the group chat and send things on occasion. And right here, talk about these guys. Because if you're going to bomb Houthi targets, and Houthis I think we're agreed they're like, it's not good.
Yes, they're not good.
Not good. They are the ones who like wanted to kill a bunch of Jews, wanted to kill Americans. I think death to America was one of their chants.
Oh, that's like the biggest chant over. It's like, get a new fucking song, you guys. Death to America. Yeah, get like more creative, something.
Make it, put a beat behind it.
Right. Death to America.
Get Kanye on it.
But yeah, it's lame.
So we I get that there's been they're asking for it, if I may. However, usually you would expect some decorum and protocol to be whenever you're considering ending human life.
Yeah.
You treat it seriously. It's fucking serious. It's a serious thing.
Yeah.
You are the seniorest officials in our literal government.
Correct.
So instead they pop on Signal and they just start chatting with the crew, including like JD Vance and a whole bunch of other people.
Which, by the way, Signal is a disappearing app, right? It like disappears.
Yeah.
Which, like obviously it doesn't really disappear, right?
Actually there was a lawsuit against Signal, which we should maybe do a deep dive on it at some point. I think it's like they arrested the CEO in France. Let me fact check this.
Yes, no, you're right. I remember this. Because I think there was like child porn. It's always child porn.
No, Telegram.
Oh, sorry.
Telegram was that one. But Telegram and Signal are, and you're correct, it was because it had child sexual abuse material and drug trafficking. Weird that they didn't do Signal's CEO.
Yeah.
But anyway, both of those apps are like disappearing apps, like you said, like ones where you're not able to track the conversation. There's tech on the background to where it makes it very difficult. Why is the government using them?
Yeah.
Can't you be on Slack?
Well, can't you be on some super
Microsoft
encrypted, like
Teams?
I don't.
Perhaps.
Don't do Teams. That shit sucks.
That does
Slack
suck.
Is so much better, but that is so true.
Maybe just cell phone text.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't fully understand, but no one seems to be asking questions about that part. So like whatever.
You would think. I mean, I can't imagine it's as secure as it says it is.
Clearly not.
Right.
Clearly not, because here we are. They're texting about their plans to do this attack. And 2 hours before the first bombs exploded, Mr. Jeffrey Goldberg, who is a journalist for The Atlantic, a very liberal newspaper, received text from Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, about the war plans in a group chat with a bunch of other people. I want to say just out the gate, congratulations to Jeffrey for immediately notifying them, because I would have been a fucking mouse in that group chat. I would have been like, tell me everything.
Yeah.
I am not going to reply and rat myself out.
And then I would have the knowledge. I would maybe only report on certain things, but I would have.
Oh, yeah.
Be interesting.
Would have been fun.
This reminds me one time. Oh my God. Dude, when you CC the wrong person at work?
Oh, yeah.
One time
it's always on the worst possible scenario, too.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I think I might have it was a terrible scenario. So my bosses were all on this email, and a brand reached out for a quote, but she put the girl from a competitor on.
No.
And I just responded with our quote. And I was like, and I literally was like, because I just didn't know. She put the wrong person thinking it was someone from our team, but it was
understandable.
The rep from the other competitor.
Oh, that's so not fair to you either, because you're like, what am I going to...
I know. I didn't look at who was CC'd. I just assumed that everyone from our company was on this. There's no reason why it would ever be that way. But it was someone on our team was named Jen, and it was a Jessa or something like that. So she just typed in J and and added this random girl from the fucking competitor. And I just straight up
sales tip 101.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. And in the email, I'm like, whatever they come back with, please be transparent. We will match it. Literally. Well,
in the spirit of transparency, I included the competition.
And my fucking...
that's so funny.
It was crazy. But
yeah,
and then actually, we still have their business, and the girl apologized to me. She was like, I'm sorry, that was my mistake. And I was like, no, it wasn't, but thank you.
Well,
and my boss was like, no, you're literally in the doghouse.
That's fair. But you won the deal.
I won the deal.
Yeah, fuck them.
Listen.
Whatever. Don't question the process.
Did I have to open my kimono?
You had to
Call back?
open that kimono. That was a wide open kimono.
Hell yeah.
Yikes. Okay, well, going back to this group chat, this is still worse because we have
It was involving war.
It was involving war and bombs and Yemen.
Death.
And they're texting back and forth. And I think most embarrassingly, worse than all of this, they were using way too many emojis. You are senior White
Bomb
House
emoji.
officials.
Bomb emoji.
Literally, this one is from Michael Waltz, punching fish, fist, not fish, punching fish, American flag fire emoji.
Wow.
And then everyone's like, good job, Pete and your team. Powerful start. Kudos to all. Prayer hands, strong arm, American flag.
Why is any of this going on there shouldn't be any sort of silliness at all in the government. It should just be this is exactly what is happening.
Why
period.
does this have more bits than me like talking to like Candy at New York Comedy Club going on?
True.
We are comedians and our conversations are more professional.
Yeah. What time is my spot?
Yes.
Period.
The end. Oh my God. God bless. Also keep that. You're killing people. Like get the fuck out of here. But isn't that so funny?
That is crazy.
They're just emoji chatting to one another. Trump initially told reporters Trump was not in the chat and he was pissed.
Yeah, he's like, what? Oh my God.
You guys have a group chat without me? Guys, what the fuck?
It's just called Not Trump.
Real big boy stuff, not for Trump. Yeah. That's the group chat name. Yeah, so Trump said that he did not know about this, and he even made a joke about it.
Of course he did.
He amplified a social media site from Elon Musk who had posted it. It was like a conservative, The Onion, basically. I don't know. They didn't even include.
Babylon Bee?
Maybe it was Babylon Bee. They didn't even say in this, but it says 4D chess, genius Trump leaks war plans to the Atlantic where no one will ever see them.
That's actually kind of hilarious.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
But not nearly as funny / tragic as Hillary Clinton's response to this, where she includes a screenshot of the Trump administration accidentally texting me its war plans, did the eyes and goes, "You have got to be kidding me."
That's incredible. That's so funny. Tough day for the But Her Emails crowd, for
yes,
sure.
This is a tough look for the people who were like, the private servers, she's a war criminal.
Oh my God.
So anyway, yeah, that slapped. That went really, really well.
That's hilarious. It's actually kind of amazing when people end, like, for all intents and purposes, Hillary Clinton's political career, running for stuff is over. And I love when they go rogue after that, because it's like,
it's the best.
I got nothing left to lose.
They honestly are so much more authentic then, and you're like, where was this?
Where was this? Because it's like she doesn't have to toe the party line. She doesn't have to be like,
no, she's throwing emojis at them.
Yeah, she's just like, this is ridiculous. There's basically just a talking head now.
It's great.
It is great. It's kind of interesting how I guess not, but I was going to say it's kind of interesting how she is like much more of a prominent figure than I would say Bill Clinton, who actually was president for 8 years.
When have I last seen a tweet of his?
I don't see any tweets of his.
I don't know what he's up to. Good for them. But either way, she must have been laughing and also just like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yep.
Pretty funny stuff.
Nice little zing by H-Dog.
That was a good zing on her side.
Definitely.
How about that? And and then they just reported like a couple hours ago that apparently at first Pete Hegseth was saying that this was not accurate, that this had never happened, and that this was not a real group chat.
That's the move. That's what he should have said.
It just got verified. Sigma was just like, yeah, it's real.
Oh, damn.
Hilarious. All of it's.
They should have just paid the behind the scenes of the episode of Veep that's going on in my mind.
God.
That would be crazy.
A lot of emojis being used.
So one-liners back there.
They're wishing for that gun emoji right now, I tell you that. That's what they want.
Damn, that's crazy.
Really cracked me up.
Speaking of Trump,
but also RIP to those people who died from the bombs.
Oh, God. Well,
okay. What are you going to do?
Anyway, Trump hates his portrait. He hates it. He can't stand it. So he is left out of a group chat.
This has been a tough week for millennial teenage girl Trump.
Yes, it really sucks. I mean, when you're left out of a group chat, you got to assume you're the subject of that group chat.
Oh, they're talking shit. That would have been so fun for Jeff to watch.
Ooh. Imagine if they were talking shit in that.
That would have been so fun.
You know what's funny is that might have been even more catastrophic because then there would just be entire swaths of people just fired.
All of them would have been fired.
With no replacement
It's
or
too bad.
no...
It's too bad.
Anywhere. Anyway, okay, so Trump has a portrait in the Colorado Capitol that he hates. He goes, "This is distorted," okay? He was like, "It was intentionally distorted. Everyone around me looks amazing." He's next to Obama.
So is this the one that is like the official White House portrait?
No, it's in the Colorado Capitol.
Okay, so it's a different one.
It's just like a random portrait. He's like, unacceptable.
Weird that he even saw it.
I know.
But that is extremely millennial woman coded.
It is, and also... he does not look bad. He looks like himself. I think that's good.
I think he looks like, honestly, it's kind of forgiving. It doesn't make him look nearly as orange. And he clearly,
I thought it was going to be forgiving too. It's
he kind of likes the orange. Like he clearly thinks that looks really nice.
Maybe he's like, obviously this is not orange.
Obviously, this doesn't have
the
I don't know, sun-kissed Jergens, shade darkest dark all over the face. So like, it couldn't be me. I just don't understand.
It's actually kind of iconic that Donald Trump has been as wealthy as he's been his entire life. And also, he's president now for the second time. And he's not going to like good tanning places. He's like, I like Jergens darkest dark. It works for me. Clearly, I look amazing. Everyone agrees.
Great. It's crazy that this portrait artist was sabotaging me by giving me human skin.
Right. He looks better than he's ever looked.
He looks normal.
In my opinion.
He looks like normal.
He looks like a trustworthy man. He looks like,
well, I don't go that far.
Well, and also his expression it's not like menacing. Like a lot of times I've seen, photos where he looks like a caricature of himself where he's like super angry looking. Like he looks like a regular person.
Regular man. Yeah, I wouldn't look at him and be like, something's off with that man.
No.
When I see him in real life, I go, whoa.
It is.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
Also, the fact that he was like, Obama looked amazing is so funny. He loves Obama. No one has a bigger fan than Obama has for Trump. Trump is Obama's biggest fan.
He's like, sure, you were, a Democrat, but you did kill a lot of people overseas.
You're so cool. Yeah. God.
You're cool. You murdered more people than
I have so far.
So far. Than anyone in recent history. It's all good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he says it's purposely distorted. That's what he thinks. And apparently...
Also weird because it's like in Colorado, buddy.
It's so random.
That's your place. That's your country.
And the artist that did it said they were like, we intentionally made it very neutral. Like it wasn't supposed to make him look one way or another because it could have been like...
Really fair.
It could have been, like I said, like somewhat like making him look super angry and menacing, which would have been pretty easy to do. And they didn't with the intention of being like, look how nice we're being. Look how diplomatic we're being. Apparently, Republicans are raising more than $10,000 through a GoFundMe account to commission a new one. And basically, what Democrats have said is if the GOP wants to spend time and money on the portrait of Trump that hangs in the Colorado Capitol, go for it. Yep. I don't care. Yep. I don't care.
So this is oh my God. This is his official one.
Yeah, his official one looks insane.
He looks crazy. He have Jergens darkest dark.
You know what's funny is that
one eye is like
drooping.
Like bad Botox in your brows.
This is what I was picturing when I was saying a menacing look.
Yeah.
I guess I've seen this official one.
He looks insane. Terrifying. He looks like his Botox has got all fucked up on the side of his face.
It probably has.
And he has uneven skin tone all across. His eyes look like buttholes.
They're not great looking eyes.
Look at those. God, you should have gone with the other one. You look normal there.
It is truly
You
remarkable.
have crepey skin in this, buddy. They gave you nice smooth filter skin over here.
He is maybe the ugliest president ever. Is that crazy to say? I'm trying to think
Vance
of like...
looks like anime.
Yeah, JD Vance always looks anime.
He's scary. Yeah, there's something like uncanny valley about this on him.
Yeah. Well, also he's kind of young. I mean, he's under 40, which is insane.
Yeah, that is really something.
Yeah, he's got that wide face that usually only happens around age 45. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When like men have a regular looking face, like Leonardo DiCaprio, regular looking guy, and then he turns into a turtle. It's like
it's something. It's like a hormonal shift for them, right?
Yeah, he's getting that. It's like Cushing
and
syndrome.
this isn't going to look good in a couple more years.
No.
Oh, boy.
Piercing eyes. I'll give him that.
Pretty eyes. I will give him
Very,
that.
very pretty eyes. So people have been going to this in person because apparently it's
Oh
getting
my God. If
taken
I was in
down.
Colorado, like, let's field trip.
Well, this is so funny. So they interviewed a few people, this article I read, and Aaron Howe, who was visiting from Wyoming. Imagine driving to Wyoming and being like, I must see this in person, as though it's the fucking Mona Lisa.
That's so funny.
And they...
Honestly, the people who do commit to the bit that hard, those are my people.
Sure. Whatever. Anyway, he stood in front of Trump's portrait. He looked at the photos of the president on his phone, back at the portrait. He goes, honestly, he looks a little chubby. He goes, but it's better than I could do. Yeah, no kidding. And he goes, I don't know anything about the artist.
Man.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I could do better than this one.
He goes, yeah, that's actually... I'm like, good, growth.
Yeah.
Not being like, I could do better.
Yeah,
I've never
exactly.
painted anything in my life. So he goes, I don't know anything about the artist, said Howe, who voted for Trump. If you're wondering, it says it could be taken one way or the other. I really don't think so. I think it was an incredibly flattering photo.
I think everybody's like, this is fine.
Yeah.
You having a hissy fit about it, though, that's not flattering.
So Kaylee Williamson, who is an 18-year-old Trump supporter, which basically just
Yikes.
means someone looking for their parents' approval, from Arkansas, got a photo with the portrait.
Selfie.
And she goes, I think it looks like him. I guess it's smoother than all the other ones. I think it's fine, she said. I'm like, thank you. Okay, yes, it has a beauty filter on it. I think it looks great.
Yeah, he's got filtered skin. He looks great.
I think so.
He's got the Snapchat filter on. Mm-hmm. He's got the little dog ears like we used to do. Yeah, remember? And then the tongue. Like,
Crazy.
that's what he wants. Well, that is very funny. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come back with because there's going to be a new one. So there's going to be more news on this in a few weeks when they finish the next round.
That's true.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and do... there's no segue for this.
Okay, great.
There's no possible way to segue those two stories. Maybe actually millennial culture. How about that? Millennials everywhere feeling a little bit sad. Forever 21 has declared bankruptcy and is expecting to close over 350 stores.
Wow.
Across the country. Didn't know they had that many.
Probably including
That,
the one
I think,
on Broadway.
part of your problem. Part of your problem, yeah. All these stores.
I act like I've been in there the past 10
I know,
years.
but I like knowing it's there.
Me too.
It's just like I want it to. It's like the thing in your closet where you're like, I'm never gonna wear it again, but keep it.
You know what though? I think now that we live so close to a Target, the things that I would have bought at Forever 21, like a wife beater tank top or something like that, need is now being fulfilled by Target.
There's no reason to go.
There's no reason to go.
They also they walked so Shein and Temu could run.
They really did.
They really did, and the earth has suffered tremendously because of what Forever 21 brought around.
Yes,
but they really were like a really point in time. I feel like 2008. 2012. The economy sucked. Yeah. We had like 14 nickels each.
Yeah.
But you could go to Forever 21 and buy a full outfit with those nickels.
Oh, many outfits. And you'd be feeling yourself.
And it would
feeling
dissolve
your damn self
on your skin. Like they were the shittiest quality.
Oh,
actually only challenged by Temu and Shein.
Pretty much.
Those are worse. I will say it. Those are worse. And that is not a great thing.
I actually remember like a point in my life when I transitioned from going out like hard at night to like 4 a.m. in the morning to actually just going out to like nice dinners and maybe like a few cocktails afterwards. And I was like, oh my God, I can like buy a sweater that is good. You know what I mean? Like where before I was buying like, like a halter top that was backless. And that was like what I spent my money on.
Yeah. Well, because you were like, I'm going to be out. I don't need to treat this well.
No.
It's going to be sweaty and
I'm
gross.
going to be sweating. Oh my God, how much fun. That would be so great though, because we've been talking about this because I'm almost 35. I'll be 35 in July.
Congrats. Wow. I'm almost 34.
And
in a month. Almost to the day.
But New York is one of these places where you'd never really age if you don't want to kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to plan we want to go to a rave or something like that. And that'd be so fun to go to Forever 21 and get some like stupid
we should do it soon.
Cunty ass.
We should see if there's any like DJs spinning some tracks.
Is that what they say?
Around your birthday. Because I bet in July we should go to like...
we should go to Elsewhere.
Or something along those lines.
Like a rooftop
Didn't one of them just like redo their entire floor and it looks really cool?
I actually have no idea.
Also, like I secretly do Like
I
remember
love this kind of
last
stuff.
year we got the table at Dead Mouse. Did you come to that?
No, I couldn't come. I forget
Fucking
why. I
idiots.
think I was extremely pregnant.
Oh yeah,
And I
that's fair.
decided I didn't want to go. But I should have gone.
But we should do exactly that. We should get a table at, was it at Elsewhere? I don't know if it was, but if it was, like wherever that was, we should do exactly that.
But that's so
was
fun.
So much fun.
You know what people go through is I feel like when you're 26, you think you're quote unquote too old for that stuff now. And then you transition to like 31 and then you're like, who gives a shit? And then you start going back out to that stuff.
It was good stuff. It's good stuff. No, it wasn't Elsewhere, though. Do have fun at Elsewhere.
Yeah.
My good friend Rachel will remember where that was.
I'm down to go to many, many concerts.
But I feel like specifically for your birthday, you should do like a table.
That would be fun. Actually, on my real birthday, I will be performing at the Melody Tent.
Oh, Melody Tent.
Melody Tent on Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Wow.
So if anybody's on Cape Cod, Massachusetts for
when
that.
is your birthday again? Maybe you can remind them for the folks who haven't memorized it yet.
July 10th.
July 10th. See you in the Melody Tent.
I will be opening for Mr. Mark Normand.
That's so
wonder
fun.
how I got that gig. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, cool. Well, wear some Forever 21 there. And no segue for this, but 23andMe, another... I think, I don't know why this just tickles me where I'm like, hey, they both have 20 something in their names and they're going bankrupt. Anyway.
Same week. That is kind of...
It is kind of weird, right?
Kind of a coinkydink.
And anyway, they are the company famous for taking your DNA, finding out if you're, everyone wants to know, am I a little bit black? Am I a little bit black? You're not. You're Irish and Polish. I don't know what else to tell you.
Unfortunately.
You all
Native
are.
American. Mark is that joke. Come on, Native American.
Come on, Native American. That's
so
so
true.
funny. That's
It's
true.
completely
Native
true.
American would be a good one.
That would
but
be a
actually,
great
I
one.
think African American would be more fun.
Well, I was one of these Massachusetts families that my whole life I was always told that there was some Native American in us, which is basically just admitting that we raped somebody. But like you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, that's not something, you know what, let's keep that to ourselves going forward.
I got a test and it said that I was from Europe and I said, that's crazy.
Thank God I spent $100 on that. Well, anyway, your data is going to be bought by the highest bidder.
Wow. So if you are a serial killer, well, good luck. Because the highest bidder might be the government or the police.
Or like a terrorist group. I don't know.
It should be the police, honestly.
It would make more sense, actually.
But how? Yeah. I mean,
it is weird because 15 million people or so have used 23andMe. And they have your DNA at that point. And I don't know if they're keeping the saliva kits, but like they have a lot of information.
They would
on you.
also basically have everyone's familial DNA. So like, if, let's say I killed somebody and they got my brother and my sister's DNA, like and my parents, like they could like figure out the DNA that they have at the crime scene was mine.
It's
based
crazy.
on that. So like don't kill anybody because you're going to get caught.
You're going to get caught. And also this is very concerning for groups who are, potentially like oppressed groups, like Jewish people. Very uncomfortable with this whole situation. 23andMe hit the news a couple of years ago because they had that big hack. You remember this? 7 million like DNA samples or whatever got hacked.
Yes.
DNA sets.
And there was a list of
kits.
Jewish people, wasn't there?
Yes.
Which is like,
and Chinese people.
okay.
Sure.
Yeah, we want to.
But point being, I don't like when you start grouping people by their
ethnicity.
It's just, whenever we've started doing categories like that in the past, it's never been for good reasons.
I feel like every 23andMe story is someone thought that they were Italian, based their entire personality off of it, and then it turned out they were like
German. It's always
Yeah.
like the downside's like, German.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's so
Just
true.
German's fucking boring.
That's so true. I know. I'm like,
I'm English. Ugh.
yeah, Planert could either be a German name or a French name, and we're always like, we're French. We're totally French. We're like 100% French.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. The only reason I think we are 100% French is because most of my family's in Canada.
Oh, that makes more
So
sense.
it's like,
Yeah, Germans don't like Canada.
Yeah.
I just made that up.
Good. Works for me. Great.
Yay. Anyway, I actually have never done one of these tests. I have one. I'm literally looking at it. I got it for Christmas from Ancestry DNA, which is the not hacked version that's still in business. And I don't know if I want to do it or not. It's kind of weird having my DNA out there.
You
available
know,
for the
as
highest
long
bidder.
as you're not killing anybody or no one in your family.
But what if
I think that's
what if
good.
I want
What
to
if
in the
you want
future?
to?
I don't know my
True.
life.
That's
I don't know
true.
who I'm going to be in 60 years.
That's a good point.
Just in case.
You know what's crazy to think about? So, did you know that like siblings could have different genetic?
Yeah.
They have different DNA. Like they have different percentages.
Unless
of
you're
whatever.
identical twins.
Right. So, my cousin, who is my first cousin, his dad is Jewish. His mom is related to my mom, not Jewish. And he got back his 23andMe and it said that he was like 99.9% Ashkenazi Jew.
Huh.
So I am like basically not related to him.
Weird.
In any like real
so you
DNA
can fuck?
way. We could fuck.
Back to White Lotus.
Yeah, White Lotus. That is so fucking foul. But yeah, I mean, we could.
We were all thinking it, May.
We could feasibly have a baby and like, truthfully, it'd be fine.
The DNA of the baby would be fine. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
That
He
is
got
weird.
like barely anything from my side of the family. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
That is like a little insulting. If you have a baby
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, well,
I mean, I think that's what happened with this baby. Like,
baby's all marked.
so far, the way that he looks, I think he got like none of my DNA. I was just a surrogate. Oh, here's we're talking about him. Oh, he's making a face.
He's been crushing it.
I know.
Just
he's been
taking
doing
a little
good.
nappy.
I know. Good job, my guy.
Oh, cutest.
Anyway.
Well, anyway, 23andMe, their business model it was obvious they were going to go bankrupt at some point because they made a buttload of money when they launched because everyone was like, oh yeah, I'll fucking tell
How
it.
Dutch am I?
How Dutch am I? And then they found out how Dutch they were and they weren't like, I got to check back in.
Right.
There was no reoccurring revenue. And they just like did all the people who were interested and they were like, all right, well, that's enough.
Do you wonder? I wonder how accurate these tests are.
I
bet
that's my
they're
other
not.
thing. I bet it's just like a guy in the back who's just like
Yeah.
printing reports and he's like, reads your name. He's like, May Planner, probably French.
Yeah,
Give her a little French.
Exactly.
I don't know, make her happy. Native American on this one.
Right.
Every 7 people, he's like, I'll gift you with some Native Americans.
They
Send
got
it out.
super lazy. They had my cousins came across. They're like 100% Jewish.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. No. That's crazy. Like,
I'm
your
like,
DNA can actually be different than your siblings.
I'm like, this is important. I'm trying to procreate with my cousin. That is so disgusting. I'm gonna kill myself.
Well. Yep. So that's the story. That's 23andMe. Anyway, if you want to get it done, apparently you still can. I wouldn't recommend. You also, if you are listening to this and you're like, hey, this isn't actually as funny as you guys think it is, and I'm concerned about my data, you can ask them to delete it.
Really?
But you should do that fucking today. Do it right now.
Yeah.
Because once this company is bought or whatever happens with the bankruptcy proceedings, then who knows?
Wow.
So make sure you do that. Put it on the list. Don't procrastinate. And if you had that data breach from 2023 that impacted 7 million people, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. God
Anyway.
bless.
All right. And I'll let you know if I do Ancestry DNA and find out that I'm 100% German like I know.
No, your dad's something else. Isn't
He's
he?
like Polish or something boring.
Oh, okay.
It's like basically German.
Yeah, that's
You know, it's like a colony of them.
That's
No, I'm
true.
just making that up.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we're secretly Russian, but we call it Polish because it sounds better.
You're Russian and German. My
It's a tough.
goodness.
It's a tough
My
combo.
goodness.
It's
well,
tough.
I'm a high percentage English, and they don't exactly have the best track record in the world.
Well, I mean,
you
we
know.
lose a lot of world wars.
Yeah.
I am a combination of World War losers.
That's true.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a like hyper colonizer or whatever.
Yeah. You like to travel?
I like to travel.
The English big travelers historically.
And Mark is Italian, so he's on the wrong side of the war, but somehow gets away with it. Nobody
But
talks
no one
about
ever
that.
talks about that.
Everyone's
They're-
like, yeah, but
But
pasta's
pasta.
delicious.
That's what they brought us to apologize.
Literally nobody. There is genuinely a massive building in Rome that is like essentially it was built by Mussolini and he was obsessed with it and it's just still there. And they're like, great.
Leave it.
Imagine if there was something built by Hitler.
Yeah,
They would
no.
have to do
I will
something
say
about
that
that.
Germans were like, we're gonna shut this shit down.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna shut it down.
big time.
This was pretty embarrassing for us. Big part of our culture.
Big part of the culture. So last story I have is that there was a Netflix series that never went to air, and they won a bidding war for this series, paid $70 million for it, and now the director, a guy named Carl Eric Rinch was arrested in LA on Tuesday after being accused of spending the budget meant for the show. He spent it on failed stocks, cryptocurrency, expensive cars, and 2 mattresses. What a random thing to include in
That's
this.
so funny. They must have been nice mattresses. Maybe it was an 8 Sleep.
Yeah.
Guys, if anyone knows anyone at 8 Sleep, I would love an 8 Sleep.
What is an 8 Sleep?
Oh my God, it's... I'll do a
Sponsor
free
us.
ad for them. Please sponsor me. It like regulates your temperature. So basically like you and your partner can set your preferred temperature and it'll have coils or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Technology. And it'll change when your body temperature goes up in the middle of the night or something.
No way.
It'll cool you off.
Oh, that's really cool because I am a hot sleeper.
Matthew is a sweaty boy.
I'm so sweaty
Yeah.
every morning.
Well,
Crazy.
8 Sleep. I really want one.
I should get one because you know what? I don't shower very often these days. If I'm being
What are you
totally
gonna
for
do?
real.
Yeah, you
so-
should. Yeah, you should get one.
I'm like, I wake up drenched in sweat, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is probably fine. I'll probably go another 2 days. It's
Yeah.
like-
The baby doesn't care. The baby does care. The baby's
No.
like, give me formula. I don't need to breastfeed
Yeah,
anymore.
but
Jesus.
these
Oh,
boobs.
this is disgusting.
Something nobody talks about is that my boobs do stink.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Like of milk?
No, of BO.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
But I think it's because
Do we need to talk about that? Or is it like just, yeah, your body smells when you don't wash it?
No. It's specifically like a pregnancy thing because the
Oh.
baby's supposed to be able to like locate you. But like every time I take my bra off to breastfeed him, I'm like, oh,
Oh, interesting.
I stink. You guys,
So it's like a little bat or something sniffing with his nose to find where
we're
he's supposed to
closing
go.
up shop. I cannot be going around with smelly fucking areolas. You know what I mean? Like hairy areolas, dark areolas. This
Big areolas.
Big areolas. I can get over these kind of things. Smelly? I don't
It's
think
too
so.
it's too far.
too much.
It's
It's
too
honestly
much.
too much. Anyway, this guy is probably gonna go to jail for a little while. But anyway, he received the funds through a number of different bank accounts before consolidating them into a personal brokerage fund, and then he used those funds to make a bunch of personal purchases, including his divorce lawyer and
Oh my God. That's
five-
pretty epic.
5 Rolls Royces and 1 Ferrari.
And what was his plan?
What was his plan? I mean, honestly, if I was his ex-wife, I would be like, it's clear to see. I don't know if they have children or what, but it's like, it's clear to see this person is mentally ill because how would you, in God's name,
Not think this was going to come bite you.
correct?
That's also
The next thing I have after I concluded what we talked about was how do they think they're going to get away with this? Like, truly, how would you possibly think that you're going to get away with that?
I guess in his mind, he was like, I am going to meme coin my way into such wealth that no one's going to question it.
Yeah.
They're going to think I'm a genius investor. And instead, like a lot of investors, myself included, he lost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Lost a bunch of money.
What's
My favorite thing is I do well in like one stock and I'm like, I only cite that one. And then I'm like throwing money into all this other stuff. And I'm like, it's crazy. It just went away. It's like crazy.
that's so crazy.
It's crazy. But I read on Reddit that it was going to do well.
God.
Oh, well,
Money is so fake. Can we ever like
it's all so fake.
it is so fake.
It's so fake and we judge each other so much for it.
Yeah.
We should judge each other on who's in the group chat. Look at
We
this guy.
should judge each other on who's in the group chat.
That's what really matters is who you're group chatting with, folks.
It's true. If you don't
Not
have
how
any
many
group
doll
chats,
hairs you have.
honestly, here's the thing is that I look at my phone all day every day.
Of course.
But of course. But if I'm finding funny memes to send to my group chat, it's socializing.
it's the work.
It's
it's I like to call it my 9 to 5.
Yes.
Supplying the group chat with memes.
It's actually good for my mental health.
It is.
It
literally
is.
is.
Especially now, like I feel like people always talk about motherhood being isolating. I'm like, no, because I'm just chat with people all day long.
Yeah, you have moments. You don't have time because the collective no.
I
But
don't
you
have
like
time,
you
but
have
I-
like brief periods where the kid's on your boob and you're like, oh well, I can
Yeah,
just
and I just
be on my
text right
phone.
now.
It's fine.
I mean, here's the thing, is that like I'm not super isolated from everyone because everyone's just a phone
Yeah.
away.
no, I feel like I see you more now with the baby because you're not out of town all the time.
That too.
Isn't that true?
Yeah,
And the baby's about to go out of town.
the baby's going out of town. We're going to Bahamas. So
That's
if you're
crazy.
at Atlantis,
Are you really going there?
we are.
That's so fun.
Because Mark fucked up and didn't book Baha Mar in time, so now we're going to Atlantis.
oh, I think you're gonna like it. Go through the
Really
shark,
fun.
the shark slide.
Oh yeah, we're
Shark Tank
definitely gonna
slide?
go. Yeah. I'm a little. I mean, here's what. It'll be fine. But I'm like a little worried about the sun in this guy.
Oh, just put a little...
Obviously, we're obviously not gonna have him like in the sun. But I was like, literally, if we're in the pool and his feet are out, I'm like, that can't happen. Not in Bahamas. So I think I'm gonna bring some blankets or something to put over his feet. Like towels, something.
Oh, sure.
Whatever.
He'll be good.
Yeah, something not a lot of people know. You can't put sunscreen on a baby until they're 6 months old.
You should get him like a cool umbrella while you're there.
Yeah.
Like a little cunty umbrella.
I have
a parasol.
A parasol. I have this really cool floaty for him where he just lounges in the floaty, and then there's like a big umbrella over the floaty.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Also, you should get him in swim lessons.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite yet, but
he's 2 months old.
Pretty soon you should be. I was in 6 months old. That was when my first one was.
Really?
Mm-hmm, Mommy and Me. But still.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Well,
all right, folks.
Maybe we'll do that.
Well, tune in next week to hear how the Bahamas trip goes and the world, how the world does. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, God bless.
God bless. And thank you for listening. Follow us on the social media sites at Laura Sogar.
May_planet. Like I said, I'll be at the Melody Tent on July 10th. That'll be really cool. Other than that, on weekends, I do spots around New York City if you're in New York City.
Yes, come through.
And Laura does spots on the road. Do you have anything coming up?
Am I going on the road? Not really, because I'm in deep wedding planning mode right now.
Ooh, yes. Laura's getting
I'm getting married in like 2 months, so I am doing less on the road for just a hair. I'm going to Austin in April during Moon Tower, but I'm not performing on Moon Tower. It's sad.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's all right.
That's fine.
It's fine. I need to go do my hair and makeup test and check on the menus and stuff. So,
ooh, that'll be fun.
That's what I'm going to be there for. But I'm performing here in New York, so come out and we love you. We are in love with you.
Isn't that
passionately? See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.